There's been some common bugs floating around on these Retroid devices here. Luckily, the fixes on these are pretty easy, but I wanted to cover as many as I could in one video. This should help fix any of these Retroid devices here, or the older ones as well. If you're having issues on one of your Retroid devices, try these fixes first before reaching out to customer service. The first issue that I wanted to take a look at is a pretty easy one to fix, but it does pop up quite often in the Discord channels. Luckily, my unit actually started being affected with this one again, so let me show you how to fix it. The first issue here that I wanted to show off is this one here. The unit goes to start up, but since there's not enough battery, it just immediately shuts off. And after a couple seconds, it'll just shut off. If you try it again, it'll keep doing the same thing because there's just not enough battery to keep the unit on. To fix this one's pretty easy, but you do have to plug it into your computer's USB port for a good 3 to 4 hours for it to get enough charge to start up. If you try connecting this to the USB charger that you have, it might not fix it either, as you need to use a solid USB charging method. Charging it on your computer is the best way to do that. It's also worth noting that I wouldn't recommend using the included charger that they sent for this. I do recommend using your phone USB cable to connect this to your PC, not the cable that came with your Retroid device. After that though, this unit should be able to start up. Let me go plug this one in, and while I'm showing you the other fixes, let's give this one a little bit of a charge. Another issue people have been having is the bottom part of the touchscreen not working. This one's pretty easy to fix too, but you can fix it in the settings. Go to your Android settings. In the settings menu, search for gestures. If you start typing it in, it should show up pretty quick. Click on this first option here, then open up the gesture control here. The system navigation is set to 3-button navigation. That's because I've swapped it to that. Tap on that and scroll down. And make sure you swap away from gesture navigation. Gesture navigation has a lot of issues with the touchscreen, and swapping away from that fixes the bottom part of the touchscreen not working. Give your unit a reboot, and that should be working correctly. After a reboot, try touching the bottom part of the screen here, and if it works, you know you're okay. Another common issue is the L2 and R2 not showing up as analog. Believe it or not, this is one that actually kind of stumped me for a little while until I found it in the settings. Let me show you how to fix that next. In the settings menu, scroll down till you see handheld settings. From there, go down to input. At the very bottom of the input menu, scroll down until you see the L2 and R2 mode. Tap on that, and then swap from analog to both. Now the triggers should register correctly. We can test this on a fishing game by holding down the trigger ever so slightly, and it should just come reel in very slowly. Then we hold it down a little bit more and it should speed up. And you can see, yeah, it's working now. Very uncommon issue is boot looping, and that's pretty easy to fix, but it can take a few tries to get it correctly. If your unit is boot looping, mine isn't boot looping, so I'm going to try to simulate that. What you're going to have to do is hold down the power button and the volume up button before it starts back up. So on its first boot here, you're going to have to try to hold those two buttons down. Keep holding them down, and you're going to come into the Android recovery menu. From there, you can try a couple different things. You can reboot it here from this menu, and that might fix it, or you can do a hard power off from here as well. If you do a hard power off, just wait a couple seconds before turning it back on, and hopefully that fixes it. However, for this purpose, we're going to try just rebooting the system. To select these, you're going to have to use the volume up and volume down to navigate, then use the power button to select the option. Hopefully that resolves your boot loop issue. If you haven't found the solution to the issue that you're looking for, make sure to check out my post here. I'll leave this in the description below. Power cycling is also a good fix if you're having some odd issues, and for that I made a guide here on how to do that. These fixes are not specific to the Retroid Pocket 3, and they might help you with the other Retroid units as well. I've got solutions to stuff like brightness flickering. This issue should have been fixed though on the updates. There's also some different tools here to check your screen, how to fix your joysticks, how to properly calibrate them. In general, I've just gone down and listed every single possible fix for what I could find at the time. If none of these fixes were for you though, let me know in the comments below as to what's going on and if you found a fix for it. If you're having battery drain specifically on the Flip or the 3 Plus, make sure to check for your updates. There was one update that caused significant battery drain, but they fixed that, so make sure to check for updates and go jump to the latest. I'm on the latest update on all my Retroid devices and I haven't had any issues with power drain since. I highly recommend updating your units if you're having issues with power drain. There was a bug where it would cause standby on these units to be really bad. After updating though, the standby bug has completely gone away and I have no more power drain issues. After a little bit of charging though, yeah, my Retroid Pocket 3 Plus is working well again. If you're having issues with your unit not starting, as you can see, that worked out pretty well. If you're having issues with any of your Retroid devices, make sure to let me know in the comments below what's going on and double check that Reddit post that I put out to see if any of those fixes work for you as well. If you have any questions regarding the fixes, make sure to ask in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and as always, thanks for watching.